Fight, where we speak our truth, slay sacred cows, and sometimes agree to disagree. This is an outdoor podcast that aims for the head. I'm Colin True, and today Adam Jabber is back on the show. You can hear him as the host of the Out of Bounds podcast, which is part of the Out of Collective. And this time he's not here to make fun of my terrible cycling takes, but instead he's going to talk about his true passion, skiing, which specifically today we're going to talk about Bode Miller's new brand, Peak Skis. But first, Adam, welcome back to the Rock Fight, man. Thanks for coming back on.
Yeah, dude, than's for having me. I appreciate it always.
I can't ride my bike that has a actual front suspension fork now without thinking of you, feeling like I'm betraying my.
It's okay. It's okay to admit that you were wrong and think about it every time you get on a bike. It's okay.
Well, so anyway, so Peak Skis is something that's been showing up, I feel like, in outdoor circles and on social media a lot lately. And I was reading about them. I'm not really, skiing's not a part of my life as much anymore, but still trying to make sense of the brand. And I wanted to have someone on to show, have someone on the show who not understands the ski category from a product point of view, but also can speak to the reality of the consumer engagement with the brand. So in addition to your podcast and what you do with Out of Collective, you're also the marketing director and buyer for a Colorado ski shop in West Springfield, Mass. No free ads, but we'll give you one right there. So definitely you definitely check both boxes. Let's start with the actual product itself, before we kind of get into the brand. So the skis themselves, when I was researching the brand, the product reviews I find seem to be largely positive, which I would sort of expect, though, because it's kind of a base level of competence with any new product coming, that comes out today from the outdoor space. People just sort of expect shit to work. But what is your personal impressions of the Peak Skis themselves?
They're fine. I think they're fine skis. We had one before I dumped it on eBay. It's an okay ski. Is it worth $7.99 or $8.99, whatever they're getting for them? No. It's not that kind of ski. It's not any better than anything else on a traditional wall. It's not even close. And I will stand by this until I die. Whenever a new brand comes out, the first thing that they should do is float skis to people that are in certain circles that will say nice things. Somebody gives you a free pair of $800 skis, you're going to say a nice thing. I think that's where all those reviews come early on. And that's why you'll look at it and it'll just be great skis, great performance, blah, 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 high end, Bode Miller's on my ski, blah, all this stuff. Or you look at Ski Mag and you'll be like, oh, okay, they won a lot of stuff. They must be really good. It's no, they must have spent a lot of money on the marketing aspect of it so that Ski Mag can't say anything negative about it. It's just not, they're just fine skis. I'm not going to tell you they're bad because they're not. They're skis. They put wood in them. There's metal edges. There's a PTEX base. They're fucking skis.
Innovation sort of a misnomer these days, right? I mean, it's nothing, you follow a playbook and you can make anything. I've said this, I'm sure I've said this on the show before. You and I right now could create an entire apparel line in the next hour and have it produced and have prototypes to us in 2 weeks. And that's not really an exaggeration. You know what I mean? It's easy to kind of, relatively easy to make something new. So if you're coming to market, I don't think you shouldn't be saying these are the best ever. You shouldn't even be saying this is, better than at all. It should just be no, you should expect this to work.
Yeah, this is a great ski. You want to support Bode. You want to support the athletes. You want to support the brand. We're here for it. There's people that have worked in the industry for a long time that are backing this brand. They're doing some of the things right when it comes to positioning the brand. But I mean, if we're going to call it innovation, did the cereal that I made this morning is innovation because I put a little extra milk in it. It's not innovation. It's so ridiculous to say that creating a ski like that is innovative. It's just not.
Well, their claim to fame is the keyhole technology, where they're I guess they're popping out a hole in the middle of the ski to kind of create some sort of rebound at the front tip. Is that kind of what that is?
Congratulations, dude. 40 other brands have that on a wall. Bless your hearts for naming it keyhole. That's your innovation, is that you named it a slightly different thing. Somebody else had that name too for a skin mechanism. It's not, there's nothing new about it.
Well, the innovation part's kind of important to their story anyway, of how they're trying to present to the public, right? Because if you look at the videos on their investment page, because you can invest into the brand yourself, right? There is sort of a crowdsource opportunity, but it has it opens with a Steve Jobs quote. And then their videos are showing people riding around on horses and their whole heritage of the brand and how they're, in Bode and everything like that. But and talk about those investment points. I mean, it does seem that the brand seems to be well financed, but it's also crowdsourcing.
They don't have money. They don't have money. They have money that they waste. They had money that they wasted is the better way to say it. I don't think that they're doing very well financially. I can tell you any brand that is putting skis at 50% off in January is not doing very well as far as ski sales go. And I can tell you if they still don't have money at the end of that, one, duh, because you just sold all your stuff at half off. And B, like, there's no way that as a second point, there's no way that things are going well if you're deciding to dump it, right? Like there's
Right.
just not. The good stuff stays at retail even throughout the summer, or it goes just barely on sale past season. Like you're not seeing this stuff at super closeout, and you're definitely not seeing it year one in January. Like that is absurd.
Well, then there's the hype around Bode Miller, right? I mean, because there's the keyhole technology, which they're like, oh, this is the new shit, and then but it's also coming from the mind of Bode Miller, the top of the pyramid ski enthusiast and native New Englander, right? So as a New Englander, though, it's kind of a bonus here that you're also a New Englander. What do you have attachment? There's the word I'm trying to think. You have an attachment to Bode.
I was hoping. I'm too young to have an attachment to Bode. I think he's fine. I think he's cool. I think he isn't a ski racer. Like he is a ski racer, obviously, but he's not like your typical ski racer. So people attach themselves to him because he's like a New Englander and he just skis hard shit and he skis it fast and he just is loose. Like I like that kind of skiing too, and I like the way he skis. I have no attachment to him as a person, and I actually think to go and claim that Bode Miller is this ski brand aficionado because he's failed other ski brands in the past, that doesn't mean anything good. Like if I tank a bunch of companies, like if I went and tanked the Collective tomorrow and this whole thing blows up and fails, for me to go on to the next one and be like, oh, I'm the creator of the successful brand that I tanked and failed and went out of business. It just doesn't lend itself to trust. It seems like a cash grab. And I was actually hoping that you were going to call it a pyramid scheme when you said pyramid, because it kind of is. It's very odd. It's very I just don't know who gives a fuck about Bode Miller in terms of making skis. I like Bode. I think he seems like a cool guy, but you know what? Bode's got money. Bode's fine. Bode doesn't need this. I think it's just a new way for him to make a little extra money. And I think Andy Worth came to him and he was like, do you want your own skis? And he was like, yeah. I think that's basically how the conversation went. He's like, we'll get a bunch of money. We'll get a bunch of investors. People will do it. We'll keep it for 3 years and then we'll sell it. I think that's what happened.
I guess that's kind of why this sort of how people expand in different categories. I talked about it before, Loa going in the trail running, and I have no problem with Loa going in the trail running. My question is, do you understand the uphill battle you're going to face to become a established trail running brand, even if you're already making different kinds of shoes, right? You have to go steal share. It's not just going to be offered to you. Skiing is not an underserved market. Right. I don't have to tell you. I mean, you make how many ski review videos do you make a year? Right. I mean, it's kind of there is plenty about you. You are not lacking for choices to talk about skis at this point. So to kind of kick in the door and be like, hey, man, we got Bode Miller. We got technology. We're doing shit that nobody's ever heard of before. And then to hear someone like yourself say, yeah, they're fine. It's kind of it kind of flies in the face of the brief,
Yeah, it's hilarious. This whole thing is very, very absurd to me. It doesn't if you put it on a wall, what is differentiating that ski from anything else construction wise? And the simple answer is nothing, right? I don't like Renown skis. I hate Renown skis, actually. I think they ski bad, but you know what? When they started, they were here's this rubber blue glue or goo that goes on the inside of your ski and it makes it more damp. It works better. It blah, 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 blah. They didn't even do that. They were here's the same shit we use in every other ski. Cool. And that was the whole thing. I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, that's the gist of my whole opinion is I don't get how this makes any sense for them, but whatever, man. I guess good on them. They're making shit. It's working for them. Keep doing it. And I'll see them at a tag sale in a year.
What is a differentiator? Right, especially either from you're going to sell it in your shop, or even just as if you were going to recommend to somebody you're getting into skiing, what do you look for? What is the kind of what would you say to them? Hey, you want to create a new ski brand? Here's the opportunity. I mean, is there even an opportunity for a new brand at this point?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know what else can be done. I don't know what else can be done in terms. Yes, the thing that you can do is you can make a ski that is very similar to what exists right now, and you can improve on some of the complaining points. There's always room to improve on certain categories that exist, right? You can make touring skis actually ski good, like a couple brands have done this year. You can make, the old Blizzard Rustler was a little soft in the tip, so they added metal to the tip this year, so it's a little more aggressive. And now their next innovation for that ski is going to be like, okay, how do we make it a little softer but still keep it flat? Like, there's always ways to go and progress a product, but what I don't see here is anything that's being improved. Like, I don't
Right.
see a single thing that is different. It's like they remind me of DPS a lot in the sense that they're like, here is this product. It's really premium. It's made out of carbon. It's fancy. It's marketed towards your doctor, lawyer, drug dealer type person. And honestly, like, I say drug dealer because it's included in that saying, but like, the drug dealers wouldn't buy that ski. They're not that stupid. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But Peak Skis is kind of positioning themselves like that. It's like, are you a rich white guy? Do you want to be friends with Bode? Well, if you spend X amount of money, maybe he'll, send you an email. Like, it's a little, there's nothing in the product that makes it any better than any other product on the wall.
I mean, even regardless of Bode and I mean, how old you are, how old you aren't, whatever. Do athlete endorsements even really matter in terms of like, do they really matter? I don't think they matter. I think it's important to have, but I also don't know if you hang it all on one person.
I think athletes sell skis. I do believe that they sell skis to a certain extent. I think the ski has to be good. I think the ski has to have something to it. I think the athlete part comes secondary. I would have loved to see them roll out year one and have no athletes and just lean on the product. Because right now they have some great names. Like, I love Michelle Parker. She's one of my favorite people in the entire industry. She's genuinely one of the best human beings that I think is around us. She's skiing those skis. To me, that's really, really cool. And I know people that will buy it because she skis them that are close to her. And like, they'll end up on those skis. I think it works for that reason. But I don't think it being like, oh, this is Bode's brand does anything for the brand. I think it would have been better if you were like, oh, Bode is a key investor in this product. He's pushing it. I actually think that Bode being so heavily involved on the marketing and in everything that Peak does is a negative thing, because it just sounds like they're leaning on that so hard that nothing else matters. It's like,
when he's not relevant anymore. He's an old skier. Like, no offense, Bode, but you're an old skier, man.
He's old as shit. And like, I will say, like, last year at Snowbound at the expo, he had a huge crowd of people waiting to listen to him talk. But I don't think that's because anybody cares about what his actual opinions are. I think it's because nobody's seen him talk in a long time. You get the opportunity to go watch someone speak for $5 of an entry fee or $0 of an entry fee, you're going to go. I don't think he moves product the way that they think he moves product. And I don't think that I just don't think it's relevant.
I think this goes back to, and we talked about this too before we hit record, about, I mentioned on the backcountry.com stuff about selling something on heritage and innovation, and how heritage doesn't matter like it used to, and innovation doesn't exist anymore. So, the only way, if you and I right now were planning a new brand, whether it was ski or apparel or whatever, it'd almost be like I think I said to you, the model is like Pit Viper, like, make it badass, make it irreverent and cool, and make people just want it. Right. Where's your freaking, weird pop-up store that only has 100 things and you drive demand and you sell out in 5 minutes?
Is like, let's do this as like scarcity mindset year one. Not, we have so many 50% off in January. Come buy them, please. We're giving them the fuck away. Right. Like, let's just pretend let's only make 500. What they did is they put themselves in such a financial hole year one and year two that now we need to move product. And like, I'm looking at some of the numbers that they're posting, which I don't even think that they're real, but they're like, oh, there's 4,000 skis sold, 3 million in revenue. That's not plus 5-star reviews.
Yeah. And raising funds at a 12-time multiple, by the way, there's the valuation at 36 million.
Yeah. That's fucking insane to do that, dude. I actually am like shook that they've raised $531,000. Like, I am shocked that anybody gave their money to this company. And like, by the way, at a fucking $100,000 investment, you get skis and you get to go ski with Michelle and Bode and Dav. Like, all right, or sorry, $50,000 you get to do that, or you get $100,000, you get a semi-private day with Bode Miller. Like, for $100,000, dude, Bode should come clean my kitchen. Like, for real.
Right.
Like, it's
while wearing skis.
fucking crazy, dude. You can go anywhere on the planet and you might run into a pro athlete and make a lap with them. Like, that's not that is so beyond insane to me that you're going to go and be like, yep, here, you spend this much money. That right there tells you who they're marketing towards.
Seriously. Yeah.
Because if they're like, yes, they're looking for people that have money and that will invest in their brand because they're stupid enough to think that this is the next big thing. And you know what? There's people out there. I see people spend money on dumb shit all the time.
So how's it play out? I mean, do you think, are they even around in a few years? Do you feel like
out of business in 2 years?
Wow. Just gone?
Maybe 3. Well, I think once they finish their athlete contracts, I think they sell it. I think they give it away. I think Blizzard buys them for $25. I think I don't see it existing. There's nothing to suggest that this is going to last long enough. They haven't been smart with their money. They haven't been smart with their marketing. They haven't been smart with the product development. It just doesn't make sense. I think the skis I really think the skis are fine. I don't think they're bad skis. But I think that the way that they're positioning this is going to limit them substantially in how they can sell direct to consumer. Because if you look at brands like J Skis and Forefront and whatever, it's not like they're doing 10x of what Peak is right now. Like, they're maybe doing 5 times as much. And those are better brands with core followings that actually that give a reason for the customer to buy. Now, I don't know their numbers. I can't tell you definitively that it's not 10x, but even if it is, like, we're talking about a much bigger multiplier to get to the valuation that Peak thinks that they have. This is not enough money. And there's so many costs involved. Like, I can tell you just in marketing alone, they've spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars annually to get to $3 million. I just don't see, or whatever it is, $4 million. It doesn't make mathematical sense that this brand lasts more than a couple of years.
And like we said at the beginning, there's not a market advantage in the product. It's not like you're sitting there going, but holy shit, man, these skis are sick. They do this thing that no other ski has ever done, which is kind of how they're positioning the brand, is that that's the case.
Yeah. Like, does it turn for you? Does it make me good at skiing? Yeah, right. No, neither of those things happen. Like, so right. I don't understand what exactly said. I don't understand 400 times, but like,
that's why I wanted to have this conversation, because it's just mind-boggling. I genuinely
don't understand. Yeah. No one should understand. And if they're telling you that they understand, they're either paid or they don't understand. They just want to act like they understand.
Well, and then just read the tea leaves here of everything we've talked about, right? So it's the ski's relatively unremarkable in terms of like the claims being made against it. They're spending a lot upfront, to your point, on the athlete side, and then trying to get get the word out through a podcast like yourself or whatever, spending a lot of money on that, making a lot of claims around fundraising and valuations and things like that, while also simultaneously running huge discounted promotions. I'm not rooting for anyone to fail, and I will happily have you back on like a year, 2-3 years from now if they are to become an ascendant brand of the ski industry. Yeah. But I think you've been doing this long enough, especially on the ski side and on the retail side and in the ski world. I definitely have had my time at brands. I understand how these things kind of play out. I think, and the fact that you just went 2-3 years, they're gone. It's probably a safe bet.
Oh, the money line on that, it's like minus 5,000 that they're gone in 2 years. Like, I just can't see
something's going to have to hit,
or they're going to get bought out, or they're going to make some change. And maybe they will make changes, right? And maybe they will make changes to the brand that actually indicate that there's going to be some growth and some positive things. The ski market is not that big. Like, it's hard to make money as a ski company. You're telling me that in a couple of years, Peak is going to be able, with the funding that they have, which is a lot of funding comparatively to some of the huge brands even, you're telling me that they're somehow going to be this like white knight of the ski industry when Blizzard or Nordica or Fisher or K2 don't sell enough skis to make what they're saying worthwhile. Like, those brands are not going to be, they're not moving very much. They're going to drop or gain 5% market share at the most in a season. Like, it's not going to be an overnight change. So if you're telling me it's a 20-year build for Peak skis, dude, fuck off. It's not even going to be like, we're not going to have skiing in 20 years. Never mind.
That's a really interesting point that I kind of, kick myself for not thinking about at the beginning of this, right? Because it's like you think about, I'm making the comparison to footwear. It's like I can still wear trail running shoes like to go grocery shopping, right? Of all the kind of, I still wear my Gore-Tex jacket if it's a rainy day outside. There's a reason to buy stuff that comes out of the outdoor industry that kind of just blends seamlessly into your everyday life. Stuff like skis doesn't, right? So it's like there's a cap there, even if they're wildly successful, because maybe somebody else drops out and you take their spot. It's still like there's going to be, here are the ski brands that we have, and here are the amount of skis we're going to be able to sell every year. And hopefully climate change doesn't affect things too much. But even if it ends up being overblown and winters are great, there's still a limited amount of skis that can be sold every year. So you have to come in and take that share from somebody else.
It's not like they're offering a price point product where they can sell to the masses. They're not.
Right.
You're already talking about a fraction of the fraction. Right. And this is like, even if they're good, right? Even if they are fucking awesome, right? You're talking about a very limited run of people that will buy that ski. Like, it's the same price as a Nordica Enforcer. You are an idiot if you think that this is a better ski than a Nordica Enforcer for the money. It's not. Like, it's just not. Like, and I don't, skis are personal preference. For an individual, it might be, right? For one single person, it might be exactly what they need. I'm using an Enforcer as an example because that's not the perfect ski, but that's the ski that people sell the most of right now. It's not, there's not anything that would make me think that they're going to sell a tenth of as many Enforcers as a company, like as Nordica does of one particular model of ski. Take that number and then go, okay, this is that category, that fraction of skiers that can spend $7.99 on a flat ski. And then go, okay, how much of the market does that actually make up? It's like 20%. Like, so you're talking about targeting 20% of the market while going and saying, okay, we're going to take over that 20% of the market. That is the hardest category to sell skis at, right? It's just not the money, the math, none of it makes any fucking sense.
Well, and I don't want to just sit here and like say we had this conversation just to shit all over them, although that is kind of what's happening. But I think a lot of it is just sort of trying to wrap my head around the why of this, right? Because that's a really good point. Like the personal preference, like why you're going to buy a ski, right? So if you're going to enter the market, you're going to bring something new, and you're going to do it in a way that and your plan is we're going to have this. Okay, great. Objectively, it sounds like the product is as good as something else that already exists. You can make all the claims you want. That's fine. But really, it's basically the same as some of the things that already exist. So we're going to hang everything on this Bode Miller differentiator. It's like, no, man, like, you need to play into why people want to buy stuff. Why would people want to buy your skis? What is the marketing that doesn't exist that you can attract a whole group of people to come to your product because they're not being served from a messaging from somebody else. And this is kind of what I'm bringing it back to for all of the sports we do is, again, this idea of like, oh, it's heritage and it's innovation. Can we please stop with that? Stuff works. Nobody buys anything anymore wondering if this is going to perform. It may not be like, I kind of like that other thing better. But the thing I bought still is okay. But that's the baseline now. Everything works. So what is your message?
Good. You can go into a ski wall, like into a ski shop, and go on the wall and pick any ski, and it'll be fine. Yeah. Like, even if it's the totally wrong ski for you, it will be fine. And that's where we're at right now. So the standard is much higher to make something big, like make something really good and say,
especially if innovation is what you're going to hang it on. If
you're creating the new rocker, right? Like you're creating skis that have a different style of turn initiation. Okay, there's your point right there. But we're not doing that here. We're not doing anything other than saying, okay, here's this ski, Bode, 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 Bode. And I genuinely believe that like adding DAV to the mix as far as athletes go in a pro model ski is the best thing that they did in the recent time. But it's also not going to change anything because now you got the semi-light ski that we're claiming is torn. But people like Dav actively right now. People know Dav. He's a great poster boy for what big mountain skiing is. He always has been and he always will be. I think that was a good move. However, if we're pretending that Dav did not sign with Peak for any reason other than the financial benefit and that the skis were good enough and he got to have his hand in the product development, then we're lying to ourselves. It's not again, the standard is much higher than what it used to be. If this was 15 years ago, you could put the ski out on a wall and be like innovation. But right now it's like you could paint 10 skis on the wall black, and I guarantee you people would have a hard, and maybe I'll do this, is just go in and like blackout graphics, like old video game, guess who this is?
Right.
Like, and you wouldn't be able to do it nearly as often as you would think.
Well, like I said, I'm not rooting against anybody. I'm happy to be proven wrong here, Peak. But we'll see how this plays out.
I'm okay. If they make it right and they fix the things that they need to fix, then fucking awesome. And we'll look back on this and be like, Jabber's an idiot. He has no idea what he's talking about. He was wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. I've always been happy to be wrong. I've been wrong a million times before. And I might be wrong here, but I just don't see a way that this works out long term for them. And I also don't see a way as a consumer. I would love for somebody to come on and explain to me what their perceived benefit is, because I don't know what it is. I cannot find it.
There you go. All right, man, we can wrap it up there. What's going on in the collective? Anything coming out people should know about?
I mean, YouTube is what we're pushing right now. It's been crushing lately, which is awesome. And a couple new shows. Alex Hackle.
I hope Boa is like just writing you checks, because like Boa content
should be writing me checks, but they're not. It's the only reason we talk about Boa is because people keep commenting on it and telling me that it's stupid. So great. If you think it's stupid, I think it's stupid, dude. We're going to keep talking about it, and we're going to keep running this bitch until the comments stop coming on it. Like, you're feeding me indirectly right now. So please, people, keep telling me that Boa is dumb.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on. I'll make sure we link everything. Go check out Out of Collective. Listen to Out of Bounds. Listen to Adam X. Listen to Michelle. Listen to all those podcasts. It's ski season. You guys are ramping up. It's your time of year for sure. Thanks for coming on, and we'll, I don't know, we'll have you back on soon for something else. But gotta be something else we can rant about.
For sure. All right, brother. Thanks,
man. All right, that's our show for today. Thanks again to my guest, Adam Jabber. You can find all of the places where you can find him in the show notes. Want to get in touch with me? Tell me how much you love or hate Peak Skis? Send an email to myrockfight@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow and rate the show wherever you are listening. The Rock Fight is a production of Rockfight LLC. I'm Colin True. Thanks for listening, and here to take us out, straight out of Gainesville, Florida, it's Krista Makes with the Rock Fight fight song. We'll see you next time.
Rock fight.